Good morning. My name is Becky, Socks for Mom, and this is my little corner of YouTube where I like to share about my crafty adventures with yarn and thread and floss and needles and quilting. And if that's something that might interest you, then stick around. Grab a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and let's get started. Here she is, Elizabeth Easton by the Goode Huswife. I love this piece so much. I was given somebody's working copy back when I came back to cross stitch several years ago, probably 5, and I started it then. It's stitched in all DMC on a mystery linen. One thread over one strand over 2 threads, and the colors are really pretty. That bird, some of you have bought my thread keep with that bird on it, and this lady and her gentleman. I really love it. I'm getting ready to take it to the framer in Denver. I'm very excited to have her finished. She's in Denver being framed right now, and they should mail her to me in a couple weeks. I would like to pass on my Elizabeth Easton thread keep with the little heart on the back. But this giveaway might be a little bit more complicated because I need your help. I need you to help me figure out what should go in Elizabeth Easton's slot in the rotation. She is in my A rotation, which usually hits the first 2 weeks of the month, and she has a 5-day slot, so help me out. She's the first to go on my Colonial wall, my Colonial woman wall, and I have several that I've collected here, several patterns, and I love them all. It's really hard for me to decide, so I'm gonna let you help me pick. Okay, first up is Be My Love by Carriage House Samplings. When you write your answer in the comments, say Colonial, and then just tell me which one you think I should stitch next. Be My Love by Carriage House Samplings. The Garden Grove by Carriage House Samplings. Mary Cotton by Kathy Barrick. Check out that lady's eyebrows. I do love her though. Faith, Hope, and Honor by Carriage House Samplings. Jenny Bean. This is a Massachusetts sampler, so it's actually a reproduction stitched on black. Here's something whimsical. Barbara Anna Designs, Love Never Fails. It has 1 Corinthians 13 right there. Those kitty cats are awesome. A Colonial Garden by Plum Street Samplers. Summer at Cherry Hill by Brenda Gervais. She really looks more like she's in the 1800s, but it's okay. She's still cute. And last but not least is a sampler that Beth Twist reproduced for our guild, and it's now available for sale. It's the Mary Pearson sampler. And here's the bottom. The man and the woman. The man's fishing. There are sheep. Looks like they're pets. Up here's Adam and Eve. And Beth was asked to reproduce this for her local historical society. And it was quite a challenge because it's very damaged, but that's the last one, Mary Pearson. So leave a comment with the word Colonial. I will search for Colonial, and then tell me which sampler you think I should stitch next in that slot in the rotation. Elizabeth with Easton was in a 5-day rotation. Next up, I worked on A Perfect World. Yep, my copy's getting beat up. A Perfect World by the Scarlet House, which I've told you guys before. I just love this piece because I think it really reflects who I am. It says, in a perfect world, you would find me here with the birds and the flowers and the dogs and the deer. So I am working on this, and I learned that it's going to take a lot longer than I thought, because that's going to be a lot of black down there. So I believe this time I got that whole flower to the right of the house done. I finished up that checkerboard going across. I made one of those doggies a Westie. You can't really tell, but the tail is curling back towards the head like Westie tails do. And I worked on that bottom black right there. So here it is. A Perfect World by the Scarlet House. And I believe I'm doing it on Stars Hollow. And I'm using all the called for threads. It's just a combination of Weeks and Gentle Arts. And that is A Perfect World. So Elizabeth Easton 5, A Perfect World 4, and then for 3 days, last time I had finished White Pumpkin Farm, I believe, and so I slid in the Reverend Gourdon Squashbottom into that slot. I started this with Yvette and Pumpkin Hollow quilts, but they finished, so I slid this into a slot now, and I'll work on it till it's done for 3 days each month. And there's the Reverend. I got that lantern done, some of the side there, some of his pants, and that will be really cute. think it'll be done by October, I hope. So that's the Reverend Gourdon Squashbottom on just some Zweigart Natural that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's 32 count. And these are all the DMC colors. I'm gonna do this, like Wheel of Fortune. And I love this thread keep. This is a quilt that I'm working on that I need to finish up so I can get it quilted. This is available in my socksformum Etsy shop. And that is the Reverend Gourdon Squashbottom for 3 days. And the last 3 days, I worked on Berry Bowl by Heartstring Sampler and the Scarlet House. So Amy loves toads. Amy and I are trading parts. And I started on the wrong side. I really didn't realize it. Even Amy started talking about, this is the side that I'm supposed to be on. This is the Beth Twist side. Amy was sharing about how she really is not a pink fan, and this is awfully pink for her, and she was talking about how she thought she might swap it out. And I was like, oh, mine's not that pink, just keep going, it'll be fine when it's all together. Well, I was over here on this side, and my pinks were not quite as bright. So then I realized I was doing the wrong side. So I'm playing catch up over here on this side. Amy's much further along. But it's all okay, it's all fine and good. So when I'm done with her side, I will cut this in half and send her her half, and she will send me my half. So that's a really special piece for me. Amy's a sweet friend. And that is what I worked on. Next up, I believe I'm going to talk a little bit about knitting. Actually, I'm going to talk about my haul before I move on to knitting. I don't have much, but I was in Denver for 2 weeks and I did get a little bit. So we're in Denver for a couple weeks while our daughter went to Iceland with a friend and to the Faroe Islands. I will show you what she brought me back when I get into my knitting section. But while I was there, we stayed home a lot. Just because the numbers were going up with the virus. But I did get out. I went on a hunt looking for some anchor thread. I think a lot of you have heard that Joann's is now carrying anchor threads on the spools. And I got about 5 or 6 of them and then discovered them at Michael's and actually kitted out something while I was at Michael's. So if you're interested in anchor thread coming on a spool and you don't want to wait for an online delivery or go into your local yarn stitching shop, which I don't have one near me. I don't have a Michael's or a Joann's near me either. Now that I'm thinking that, but anyways, if you have a Joann's or a Michael's near you, you can whip on out and get some anchor thread. Sorry about that. Okay, at the end of our 2 weeks there, I did get together with a couple friends, which was a lot of fun. The first day I got together with an old friend of mine from the 80s, And we discovered we have quilting in common, and so the next time I go back, we're going to quilt something together, like a little runner or something. But the second day I got together with my friend Donna May, Daisy May, I think, is that your name, Donna, on Instagram? Anyways, we got together and spent the day together, and it was a lot of fun. The first part of the day, we went to a store in Denver called the Wooden Spools, which actually they take all their fabrics in there are stash fabrics from people, and they fold them up. It looks just like a quilt shop. So anyways, I was able to find some French General fabrics, pretty cheap. Well, this one here is a William Morris print. This is a French General. This is a French General. As is this. And this is a William Morris. So I got that, and we'll put it with all the rest of my fabric stash. But while I was there, I also found this pattern. Take it out of the cover. It's called What You Got. And I thought this was a really cute bag that has the vinyl insert right there, and the rest is patchwork. So I'm gonna make up a couple bags and try that pattern out. And that's really cute. What You Got by This and That. So I got that, and then in the afternoon we went to an antique mall that claimed to be the biggest one in Colorado, and I'm not going to be able to think of the name. Anyways, I got, hold on a second, the thing that I have that I love the most is this pin cushion of all these cute little guys. And I got it because I have had this since the early 80s, and it's my favorite pin cushion. I love their pigtails. So when I saw this, I couldn't resist it. I remember when my little brothers were babies, and my mom had some of these kind of pins when I changed their diapers. But look at all these awesome colors. Let me do the Wheel of Fortune thing. Cover up that doorknob. And look at all these pretty colors. So, so cute. So I will probably have that in my stitchy spot. So I got that. And that's really, I might have gotten a couple other things here and there, but that's what I wanted to show you. And when I got back home, I had something waiting in the mail for me. I had this autumn bounty book that my friend Christine just showed on her FlossTube. I love this quilt. Let me see if I could show you some things I don't think she showed you. I'm not sure if she showed you this appliqued welcome home pillow in that little basket, which I think is super cute. Also, what I really liked was, I thought these little pumpkin coasters were super cute. Demonstrates the stitches up there. Let's see, what else did I really like? I think she showed this one. I love this. just think that's a stunning autumn quilt. I'm ready for autumn, guys. There's another picture of it back here. It's all homespun fabric, which is fun. This is a cute lumbar pillow. And Cynthia Brew, there's your sunflowers, a sunflower quilt. Gotta get quilting, girlfriend. And yeah, I think those were the ones that I particularly was really drawn to. I'm drawn to really all of them. Oh, this one also. Pretty. So once again, this book is Autumn Bounty by Needle Love, Renee Nanaman of Needle Love. And the other thing that I bought on eBay, I'm collecting the Quakers the seasonal Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I have the Autumn Quaker, which I'm getting ready to pull out on September 22nd, I believe, is the last day of summer. So on that day, I will pull out the Autumn Quaker. And I have the Winter Quaker that's not started yet, but I just bought the Summer Quakers. And I'm just going to put a couple threads in at night while we're watching TV. It's 28 count, super easy. So I purchased that book with this linen, and it's the called for linen, which you can see is much pinker than the photo. This is Truffle by Picture This Plus, 28 count. And I'd show these without them falling out. These are the Valdanis. Here's my Wheel of Fortune thing again. The Valdani Summer Quaker threads. They're not quite as nice and neat as they were because I started last night when we were watching a movie. And that's how much I got done watching the movie. So I have a place in my house that I want to switch those out seasonally. So my goal is to do all 4 seasons. And I will stitch those in the season. So when the season changes, I'll pick up the next seasons. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's the process for me that I enjoy the most. So that's my stash. Up next, I have a winner from last time when I asked you guys if you liked to stitch with silk or cotton. I had a lot of responses, and most of you like to stitch with cotton. So that made me feel a little better about not always doing silks. Actually, I'm getting quite a collection of silks, but it was really nice that you left me all those comments. So hold on, and I will get back to you with the winner. I do not remember which thread keep I was giving away. I thought I could, but I don't. And so this winner gets to go to my Etsy shop, Socks for Mum. I will leave a link down in the notes. You can go and pick out whichever one you want and send me an email. Okay, there were 79 comments. I spun the wheel and I got Martha K, Martha, I'll leave a comment on your comment, but please send me an email with your shipping information and your choice of floss keep. And Martha said she likes cottons because I have tons of them in my stash. I only have about 24 silks. So thank you, Martha K. Thanks for participating. Thanks for sharing. I really enjoyed reading everyone's answer. My daughter went to Iceland with a friend. They were tested about 4 or 5 times every time they went into, when they got on the plane to fly over, when they landed in Iceland, when they went to the Faroe Islands, when they flew back to Iceland, and when they flew home, and also when they got back in the US. So she said it was really nice to be in a country that had 0 cases of COVID and didn't talk about COVID all the time. So they enjoyed their vacation. They camped around the perimeter of Iceland in a camper, and then they flew over to the Faroe Islands, which as a knitter I would really love to go there someday. There's a specific type of knitting called Faroe knitting, and so I sent her on an assignment to find some natural undyed yarn in the color of Faroe sheeps, and to send me photos and pictures of all the sheep that she was seeing. She said they were everywhere. So up next, I'll show you a little bit of footage of that.
Hiking guide. Hey, that's not the way.
So those are the Faroe sheep, and she did bring me back. She found some. She brought me 8 skeins of this Navia brushed tradition, which is 100% Faroese wool, and it's a sport weight. I will probably knit either a Faroe shawl or a sweater, and I actually have this pattern right here by Bristol Ivy, which I think would be really pretty. This is the yarn I had purchased for it. So, thinking about that. This is a lot smoother than this is, but they're both sports weight. I think this is Highland wool. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking, or I'm thinking of knitting a Faroe shawl. Put a picture in right there. And the Faroese women designed a particular kind of shawl that would stay on their shoulders when they were out working, doing their work. So I might just do that. It's a little hot in Texas right now. I'm not going to be starting it anytime soon. So that's what she got me. I am going to end with some of the photos that she sent home. It was beautiful. I'd love to go there, maybe someday. So take care, stay safe, and knit on, stitch on, whatever you like to do that brings you joy. Look for joy everywhere you go. Find 3 things every day to be grateful for. Love you. See you soon. Bye.